Hi, everyone. I'm Anand. I'm the co-founder and CEO of PrimaryBid, and I'm really, really honored to be invited to speak here today. Um, about 4 years ago, I was sitting right in your seat, and it was a very big moment for me because Accenture had actually rejected my application to the lab for 2 years running. And I think they only accepted the third attempt because they knew I wasn't going to leave them alone. So firstly, congratulations. Today is a big deal. It certainly was for me. I remember very clearly sitting there after that grueling winter program that they've got, feeling very proud about getting through it all. And then all of a sudden, the alumni speaker shows up right on the back of a $25 million Series C, and he starts talking about it. And it was really right around then reality came crashing down on me. I remember thinking, $25 million, holy shit. Just remember at the time, we had raised about $1 million from 3 small seed rounds. Quite frankly, I didn't even know how to understand and compute such a big number in relation to where we were. Now, I was somewhat encouraged to see another alumni company do it, but overwhelmingly, I was petrified that we were nowhere close to that sort of scale. I couldn't fathom it. But fast forward to today, and we are a global business. We're category kings in our sector. We're a Series C company that's raised over $250 million from incredible investors such as SoftBank, Fidelity, Molten, Omers, the London Stock Exchange, ABN AMRO, FinTech, Outward, Hambro Perks, and many others. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I think it's important that you also believe that it can be done and that it's okay to be freaked out. And in fact, embrace your holy shit moment, because this next part coming up is intensely challenging. Look, I'm not here to dole out any advice. I think you've had plenty of that over the last few months from people a lot smarter than I am. But instead, I thought it'd be easier if I told you exactly what we did after graduating from this program. And hopefully some of it will resonate with your own unique journeys. So first thing we did was to go hard after our Series A fundraise. And I would still do that even in this environment. Forget the doom and gloom. The market is still hot. There's a lot of dry powder out there looking for great ideas, great founders looking for a great home. Because remember, at this point, you are hot property. You just graduated from one of the most respected FinTech accelerators in the world. You are pitch perfect. You've repeated that bloody pitch about 1 million times. You can say it in your sleep. Don't let that practice go to waste. But mind you, it still wasn't easy with all of that, right? Foundation. Look, I would say closing the Series A was still the single hardest thing I've done in my career. I got no more no's than I ever thought humanly possible. It made those 2 Accenture rejections seem like, a children's fairy tale. The main lasting lesson, if I think about that process, was how to learn from those no's. It's hard to do because it's sort of a rejection of your business and your ideas, but I think it's really, really important to confront them and address them head on. I think I realized quickly, look, I was speaking to investors who'd worked with so many great businesses, and by them saying no, they were importing a little bit of wisdom to me about our business. So I was sort of forced myself to understand why, and then address it in the next meeting I had with the next investor. So sort of understand and iterate. That was a really big part of a learning. It took us actually over 1 year to get the Series A terms done. And I will say it was probably the darkest period I've had as an entrepreneur. But it was also one of the most necessary. I feel like this whole process, that bit of the process, was almost designed to test our spirit to see if you can come out on the other side. And once you get it done, things do get, I'd say, microscopically easier. I mean, just a hair easier. It's still insanely difficult. One irony is after that, announcement, Series A announcement, we got so many investors that sort of pinged us because now we'd sort of planted on their radar. And I remember thinking, our business is exactly the same, but where were you guys just 1 week ago or 2 weeks ago? I couldn't even get through the door. But now we had the money, right? So our biggest challenge at this point was to cement our product market fit. We had to build traction and prove that we could work with the best. For us, that means side by side with the global investment banks on the biggest deals in the world. And we're a Series A FinTech company. So if getting your Series A is the impossible task, this was part 2 of that same story. I promise you, it took a gargantuan team effort where we attacked from all sides to win business. We had to learn to be imaginative, brave, purpose-driven, relentless, tenacious, all of those things. And I'll say traits that still very much stick to the core of our team and how we work, even today. But when we broke through to the first FTSE 100 deal, we did it in style. So it was a £2 billion fundraise for a company called Compass Group, book run by Goldman Sachs, with us sole managing the retail offer. For context, this was the first time in history that a FTSE 100 company was able to raise money from individuals as well as institutions on an accelerated basis, all thanks to our platform. You know, we still think about that day. I speak to my co-founder and CFO, and we talk when we were writing our name on the company's press release. It was a company's name, and then there was Goldman Sachs, and we wrote PrimaryBid right underneath it. And I looked at Kiran, and he actually had a tear in his eye. It was amazing. And then it caught fire. And what I will tell you is, when that happens, after all of that grueling work, when it catches fire, it's like watching magic. You know, I'll give you some context on it. At the time, before that deal, we were kind of doing one deal every couple of months. And then that Series A came along. We sort of built our projection models, and we said, look, let's be ambitious. Let's write what winning looks like. And winning looked like in the Series A, like a deal a week. After we did Compass, we were running 2 deals a day. So that's 10x better what winning looked like in the Series A model. I mean, it was like being in a rocket ship like I've never felt like before. It was the most incredible experience. And I don't just mean any deals. We got on some of the biggest deals on the continent, like Ocado, William Hill, Aston Martin, Taylor Wimpey. Deliveroo called us up. We invented the world's first fully integrated in-app IPO, which we did for them. If you had your Deliveroo app and you saw that IPO, that was us powering it in the back end. We got a call from Soho House, which was listing on the New York Stock Exchange, and said, we want to do the same thing. It was all just catching fire. And look, pre-lockdown, we were 15 people. That's when the pandemic hit. We left the office. 1 year later, we were 150 people. Then came the inbounds from the investor calls trying to preempt a Series B. We closed a $50 million Series B without even pitching. 1 year later, we closed 190 million Series C left by SoftBank. And alongside, we launched in new countries, new products, made new mistakes, things worked, things broke, things got fixed. We met so many brilliant people along the way. We even had the privilege of bringing some of them and joining our company. We reorged the company twice in the process. And after all that, whirlwind, I suddenly find myself all the way back here at the Accenture graduation ceremony where it all almost started. And which is why I said it's such an honor to be here. Look, that's our story till right now. And I guess the point I would love to leave you with is that this is a tough and lonely path. And that's the cold, hard truth. And you are at the hardest bit of it, and I think you know it. And truth is, nobody fully understands that apart from other founders. No one can fully get it unless they've been through it. And that's why I always feel that the founder community need to stick together, because that shared empathy is really valuable and it's impossible to get anywhere else. But if you can power through those dark moments and those tough times, and you can find your secret sauce, the result is one of the most incredible and enriching life experiences you will ever have. So with that, I wanted to wish you all the very best in what lies ahead.